Hello and welcome to Daf Yomi Succah Daf. What's today's Daf? Chaf, no. Chaf Aleph and Amud Beis. Daf Yomi, you do two Dafim, right? You do two Amudim. My mother-in-law wanted to know where my undershirt and bathing suit is. She requested, she was wondering, we're still on vacation here in Har Shmuel. Again, I'm joined by my brother-in-law, Yehuda Price. Yehuda, say hi to the camera. There's Yehuda. And we're at the table here in the main living room over here. And we're going to be leaving tomorrow. This is the last special edition share from Har Shmuel. Why am I not wearing a bathing suit and undershirt? Because we just went out to dinner to Entrecôte. We had a good time. I brought 10 family members. I know the head chef there, / owner of Entrecôte. He's my friend. He offered me a free glass of wine next time I come. So complimentary. I told him I brought 10 friends today, so he was happy. You know, I got some business for him. So, brothers take care of brothers, right? And there was a waiter there that I made friends with. Called him Chaver. He called me Tzaddik, so I said, call him Chaver. I was calling him Chaver, and you know, I called him Chaver one time. He came over, and then I called him Chaver a second time. He didn't look at me. I don't know what happened. He wasn't my friend anymore. I called him Habibi, and an Arab looked at me. Why would an Arab look at me? Because apparently Habibi is an Arab term. Is that true? Habibi is Arabic.
Habibi.
Anyway, all right. So now we're going to start the Daf Yomi edition, the Daf Yomi part of this year. We talked about yesterday, Machlokes between Rabbi Yehuda and the Chachamim, whether an oel she'asha eino asu b'dei adam, an oel which is made. Come more in the picture, Yehuda. An oel which is made without the intention of man. Is it considered an oel or is it not considered an oel? Rabbi Yehuda says not considered an oel. So the Gemara on the bottom of Chaf Amud Beis says, "My time." What's the reason? What the Rabbi Yehuda? What's Rabbi Yehuda's reasoning that an oel she'eino asu b'dei adam eino oel? So the top of Chaf Aleph and Aleph, Yoliv oel mi Mishkan. He learns a Gzeira Shava of oel from Mishkan. Ksiv hacha zos haTorah adam ki yamos ba'oel. This is a pasuk which talks about what? Where is this pasuk, Yehuda? Zos haTorah adam ki yamos ba'oel. Where? And which parsha is that? We read it one of the 4 Daled parshios. You know which one it's from? Yakel. All right. We thought Yehuda had a good education in yeshiva. Apparently, Mishkan Asher is now living up to its name. It's in Parshas Parah. Adam ki yamos ba'oel. V'chsiv hasam v'yifros ha'oel mishkan. It says, where does it say this? This is actually in Parshas, I think, Pekudei. That Moshe spread the oel, one of the coverings of the Mishkan. Mala holan b'dei adam, afkan b'dei adam. Just like over there, Moshe did it himself. So too an oel when it comes to tuma, when it comes to the adam ki yamos ba'oel, when transmitting tumas on mace, has to be done intentionally. Alidei adam. Rabbanan. What are the Rabbanan? They have this Gzeira Shava also. The Gemara says oel riba. It says the word oel more than once, a number of times. Therefore, it comes to include any type of oel, even though it wasn't made b'dei adam. So the Gemara says, "Savar Rabbi Yehuda kol oel she'eino asu b'dei adam eino oel." Any oil which is not made intentionally is not considered an oil. V'minu chatzeros hiu b'nuyos b'Yushalayim agabe asela. There were certain courtyards they had in Yerushalayim that were built on bedrock. You know what bedrock is?
And stones.
Who here knows what bedrock is? Anyone? Bedrock basically is rock that was not touched since the beginning of the world. Yehuda, you know how many years this world has been around for? How many years has this world? Anyone know how many years the world has been around for? Avi knows. Davening Marav. Is anyone? He's saying Shema. All right, listen. You know we have a Gemara share going on. He's saying Kriyat Shema. So obviously, it's not good publicity for my share. Yeah, we're giving this share at 12:15 at night. People are saying Kriyat Shema during my share. I want people to get up for my shir, not that they fall asleep during my shir. You know.
For the Americans.
What? Americans go to sleep?
No, for the afternoon.
Oh, America, it's actually 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's for them.
Okay. Happy hour. All right. So the Gemara says, bedrock basically is rock that's been around since creation. You know, they say in the Jewish calendar, we're in what year? Tav Reish Pei. We're going to be Beis. It's going to be
Tav Shin Pei.
Tav Shin Pei Beis. Right. It's going to be 5,782. That means we're 218 years away from Mashiach coming. I mean, he has to come within 218 years. Anyway, I mean, according to the secular world, you know, the world's been around for millions of years, you know. The Ice Ages, you know what the Ice Age is? No, okay. Anyway, bedrock was rock that was formed since the beginning of creation. It hasn't been touched. They didn't want to have Tuma associated with the Para Duma. So they had a weird practice over here. It was built on Gabe Asela. It was built on bedrock. And they built these courtyards. They built them with raised up. There should be a teva space. Exactly. Very good, Yehuda. Mommy, you should get nachas from your son. My mother-in-law should get nachas from her son. He knows about Hilchos Tuma. Oh well, Tuma is Olos. He learns even stuff 60-year-old men don't know. Only in Mishkan Asher. He made up for the Para Duma. He did good, Yehuda. All right. So the Gemara says, Mevin Nashim Ubros, they would bring pregnant ladies there, V'yoldo Sham, they would give birth there, or Magalos B'neim Sham Lepara, and they would raise their children there, but the Para Duma would never become in contact with Tuma. Mevin Shvarim, they would bring ox, the Agabean Dlosos, and they had the doors on top of the ox. With Tinokos Yoshon Agabean, the children would sit on top of these doors. The Koso Shaleven B'yadeim, and they would have basically cups of rock, made out of rock in their hands. Rock, because rock does not transmit Tuma. Higuli Shiluach, they came to this spring outside of Yerushalayim called Shiluach. Yardu L'tocha Mayim. They went
down. Why?
What?
Why?
They didn't go down.
The first year they did go down. The second year they didn't go down. The first year is going down.
You don't know this stuff pretty good.
But why went down?
What?
Why didn't? Why?
Yardu L'tocha
Why
Mayim
didn't
Milum.
2 more years? Told now they were afraid. Now people you go down. Why you go down?
Because I guess
why they didn't?
That's a good question. So let's just see the machlokes. The first opinion says they went down and they filled up with water and they went back on top of the oxen. Rabbi Yossi Omer Mkomo Hayam Mishal Shalom Malim Nekever Atom. Can I make a request of a little quieter from the audience? Can I make a request? Excuse me, from the audience. If you can make a little quieter, all right. No one's listening, okay? Just talk a little quieter, all right? Malim kid, so he milim ba'alu v'yashru lahem. Rabbi Yossi on Mokoma hayam mishalshel malim nekebratom. Rabbi Yossi says they would stay in their place and they would take a cup on a string and they would fill up the cup without getting off. So Yehuda's asking, what's the machlokas? Why weren't they concerned? Why isn't the Tanakama holder we should be concerned to go down to get Tuma? What do you answer, Yehuda? You're asking the Maggid Shir. You want to know what the Maggid Shir's opinion is?
Yeah.
The Maggid Shir says, listen, you can't go crazy in life. Sometimes it's very hard for children to have the coordination to take water with a rope from a spring. So you can't go crazy. You try to do as best you can, and you leave the rest up to Yidei Shemayim. Yehuda Omer Lemivin Dlasos Ella Shvarim.
It's not to go crazy. I understand what I'm saying. It's to take a cheva and take it out. It's
hard. It's not so easy. They were made of rocks. They were heavy. They were little children, weak children. They didn't know anything. They grew up in a vacuum. Anyway, Rabbi Yehuda says, "Omer lo yomavin dlasos ela shvarim." They wouldn't have doors on top of the ox, just the ox. That's shvarim. The ol shein also be the adam who saying Rabbi Yehuda Omer lo yomavin dlasos shvarim. They were on top of animals. An animal, the back of an animal, acts as an oel from the kever atom underneath. They would sit on top of the animal. So it's an oel shal and also be the adam who. And Rabbi Yehuda says that they didn't bring the shvarim. So how could it be that the shvorim would act? He would say it's considered an oel. He admits, Rabbi Yehuda would agree that if the thickness of the oel underneath the oel is a tefach by a tefach, which is the fistful of a strong person, so therefore he would admit that would be considered to be not more than a tefach by a tefach. If it's a fistful, an oel underneath, so therefore he would agree that even though it's ein oel the other, it would be considered an oel. We have a price like this. He admits by big boulders and rocks that got moved around, since they're big rocks, they form a big oel, big space underneath, and therefore, even though they weren't made intentionally, it's still considered an oel. The Gemara is very jealous. But a door also has underneath it many growth and many fistfuls. Sounds like he had a problem with the doors. Why do you have a problem with the doors? The door is also Malay Agrov. Rabbi just answers, they didn't have to bring doors. They just relied on the fact they had shvorim. He says it's the real reason why they didn't bring glossos. Not because it wasn't an oel. Shema Yotzi Rosho Echan Meivara V'Yitama B'Kever Hatohom. Because they're afraid if he's sitting on the doors, he might get overly confident and he might fall off. They weren't concerned that he's going to fall off actually. What they're concerned is that he's going to extend one of his limbs, his arm or his legs, over the Kever Hatohom and become Tameh. Outside of the animal.
We said before that he goes down to bring the water.
This obviously is only going according to the other opinion. And first of all, this is talking about the entire journey when they were going from this courtyard to Shiloah. The entire journey is a longer risk. Listen, it's important to take risks in life. If you don't take risks in life, you're not living. But you don't take that many risks, right? You ever play the game Risk, Yehuda?
No.
Anyway, the game Risk is a game about conquering the world. If you don't, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you don't take risks in life, you'll never conquer the world. You have to take risks in life. You got that, Yehuda? If you don't take risks in life, you'll never conquer the world. I'm telling you that right now. That's why it's called Risk. Because if you want to conquer the world, you have to take risks in life. If you don't take risks, you don't... All right. No one agrees with me on this, apparently. People just want to live in the sky. They want to live pie high in the sky. All right. We have a brisa like this. Rabbi Yehuda says, Rabbi Yehuda, was he named after you, Yehuda? You know this Rabbi Yehuda? Maybe it was Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda, Omer Levin, Losses Kol Ikram, Neshday, Shadina Gasalav. Shema Yotzi at Rosh, Echem Ebarov. Exactly this fear that he might become Tameh. El Mevi and Shvorim and Mitzrim, they would bring a very big ox that came from Mitzrayim. Shekrei Sosei and Rachavos. They had very big bellies. V'tinokos Yoshin Agabein, the coastal shall even be a day. Like we said before, Gil Shiloch Yardu Milum V'Alu Yashulahan Agabein. And like the first opinion there, that they would stay on the horse, they would go down, they would fill up the cups with water. They would come back on the shvarim, the ox. Now the Gemara asks another question. Back to our Mishnah. A bed, we said that the bed provides an oel, according to some opinions, from the Sukkah. Mita, underneath it, has many fistfuls. Between the bottom of the bed and the floor, there's many fistfuls. So it's not Rabbi Yehuda Omer, so according to Rabbi Yehuda, even though it was an oel shein asavi de adam, a bed is not intentionally made for an oel. So there was still a grofin. We said he's moded by a grofin, that it could be an oel. So how could he, if he's in an oel, he's not in the sukkah? How could Rabbi Yehuda say it's kosher? Where it says shiny meat, the whole gabas. Meat is different because the entire purpose of the bed is made to sleep on, not for being underneath it. So therefore, it's not an oel at all. So the Gemara says, Shvorim nami l'gaban asuyim. A shore is made to ride on it. Why did Hashem create shorim? Why were oxen created? People to ride on them, not to eat steak, right? What was the purpose of creating ox? What was the purpose of creating bulls? Or calf? To eat them? No, not to eat them. The Gemara says to ride on them. The Gemara says, they actually do serve as an oel purpose because people would lie underneath them to protect themselves from the sun and from the rain. Right? Where do you put your shoes, Yehuda? Where do you put your shoes? When you take off your shoes, where do you put them? Yeah. What does he say?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Where he says?
Yeah, what does he say?
איזו מיטה של חכמים, כל שאין תחתיה למנהלים שבבית בימות החמה, וסנדלים בימות הגשמים.
Right.
What's the pshat here?
What do you mean, what's the pshat? The Gemara is saying...
No, yeah, I understand, but he says sandalim. When sandalim? Yemot HaGshomim? The sandalim Yemot HaGshomim?
The sandalim of the Gemara is not real sandals.
It needs to be hafuch.
I know what you're saying. Listen, if you look at our school, they'll tell you sandalim are considered shoes and minolim are considered what we consider sandals. So it's not really, it's a problem with the word sandal, the way it's used nowadays. Anyway, it depends where you live, Yehuda. If you live in a climate where it's very nice outside during the winter, like live in a place like San Diego, let's say, right? They have 75-degree weather the whole year, you know, so you can have it like that. Anyway, where do you put your shoes, Yehuda? Yehuda, where do you put your shoes? Are you a neat person or are you a messy person?
Neat.
You're a neat person? You keep your shoes underneath your bed? The Gemara says about Basra that if you're a Talmud Chacham, you keep your shoes underneath your bed.
But only the shoes, nah.
Yes, nothing else under your bed. But where do you keep your shoes? Where do you keep your shoes, Yehuda? Yehuda keeps his shoes underneath his bed because he's Talmud Chacham. Because he's from Mishkan Asher, because they've produced Talmud Chacham. All right. You know, I need some laughter over here, you know. With Shmuel, we got some laughter. All right. So the Gemara says, "Elamo Rava shiny shvarim hova asun lahagan al bnei me'ayin shalhen." He says the whole entire purpose of the shore is not to ride on it; it's to protect their innards, whatever is inside their stomachs. Shenemar oro basar tel bisheni v'atzamas v'gidim so chacheni. You put the meat and you put the skin on top of the cow in order to protect its bones and its sinews. On a different answer, Rabbi Yehuda is going according to his own reasoning. The Amar Sukkah diras kvaba. He holds that Sukkah is a permanent structure. You need a permanent structure. Havali mita diras aray. Really, a mita is an oel, even because it has kamat growth in it. It's really an oel, even though it's all shein has to be the other. It's still an oel. But mita is only a diras aray. Sukkah oel kvav lo asya oel aray mavate oel kvav. Since you're in a permanent structure, so therefore, even if you're underneath a mita, so a bed. It's only an oel aray, and you'll still be considered in the sukkah. Like Gemara asks, "How Reb Shimon Damar Nami Sukkah Diras Kvaba Ina?" Reb Shimon, we said on Daf Beis, he says that a sukkah needs, also in the Mishnah on Beis and Aleph, that he needs 4 walls in a sukkah. So he holds the Gemara in Zion Beis says he means Diras Kva, and he says in our Mishnah that he was siding with Rabbi Gamliel that you're not allowed to sleep under the bed. We see that ol aray is mevatel on ol kfa. It's like you're not in the sukkah. The Gemara says in baha pligi. They do argue about this. Marsa asya ol aray mevatel ol kfa. Reb Shimon holds that an ol aray temporary oel would ruin being in the sukkah. Marsa and Rabbi Yehuda holds that asya ol aray mevatel ol kfa. He holds it wouldn't ruin it. Back to the Mishnah. Amar Shimon Ma'aseh b'tev yavdo. Tanya Amar Shimon. We have a Ma'aseh with tev yavdo that he was an Evan Knaini. To remind everybody, he slept underneath the bed. And Gamliel praised him because he was sleeping underneath the bed, and he wasn't taking up the room for people who were mechuyev in sukkah. Because why was Tevi not chayiv in sukkah, Yehuda?
Because it's part of the mitzvah.
Why? Why are avadim? Why avadim? I thought nashim were potter.
Why avadim and nashim?
Yeah, but why avadim? Because they're hookish to nashim. There's a gzeir shava of la la, right?
La.
There's a new song now. What's that song? La la la.
Brachas. It says
Yehuda, tell me that song that I like.
It says in brachas, no?
Yeah, it's Gzeres Hashava.
In brachas.
Yeah. What is la la la? What's that song? La la la. That I like. Sing the song a lot. Yeah, sing the. How does it go? Sing it a little bit. Just tell me. How does it go? La la la. Chasan v'kala. La la la. What do you mean afterwards? This is the whole point of the shir. To have a good time. La la la. How does it go? Hey, I need Shmuel back. It's time. Vacation's over. I gotta get back to Shmuel. She laughs at my jokes. He cooperates. All right. Tanya, Amar Shima, Misikaso Shel Ragamliel, Lamanu Shnei Dvarim. From Ragamliel, we learned two things. Lamanu Shavadim Turim in Sukkah. We learned that Avadim are exempt from Sukkah. Lamanu Shayoshan Dachazamita Layatzi Dechavasa. If you sleep underneath the bed, you're not going to be Yotzi, you're mitzvah of Sukkah. Valema Midvarav Shangli. Why does it say Misikaso from his casual conversation? Why does it say Vidvarav? His words. Milsa Agav Orche Kamashma. The Gemara is teaching you a very important thing. Kihad Amar Rav Acha Bar Ada, Amrila Amar Rav Acha Bar Ada, Amar Rav Humnuna Amar Rav Minayin, Shafil Sicha Samir Cham Srichalim. Talmid Chacham, even when he's joking around, listen to this. Even a Talmid Chacham, when he's joking around, you can learn stuff from him, right? So, let's say I was a Talmid Chacham, right? Let's say I'm not, but let's say I was. If I were a Talmid Chacham, so you can learn stuff from my jokes. And maybe one day I'll be a Talmid Chacham, so you can learn stuff from my jokes. Anyway, if you're a Talmid Chacham and you joke around, the Gemara is telling you can learn stuff from that. And it says that even from the leaves of a tree, they won't wither away. You can learn from them. The Mishnah says, let's say you have a bed. Now the article says you take out, it was sticks, right?
4 sticks.
It actually has bed posts. It has walls from a bed, but you took out the mattress from the bottom. Kshera. The Tanakam holds a kosher sukkah, and you put your schach on top of these walls. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Imeni Yechol La'amod B'fnei Atzma Psula. Rabbi Yehuda holds that if it can't stand by itself,
you need just keva binon.
I'm going to see what the Gemara says. Then it's puzzles. It's a machlokas Tanakam and Rabbi Yehuda. My time with Rabbi Yehuda, the Gemara says. Pligi bar Rabbi Zeir Rabbi Abba Bar Mamo. Two different opinions. Chad Amar B'nei She'en La Kva. Because it's not called, the way the article says, diras kva. It's not called diras kva. And this would be Rabbi Yehuda l'Shiktase. He holds a sukkah needs a diras kva.
It's not Teshu Kentaduru.
Yeah. Teshu Kentaduru? No, Teshu Kentaduru is diras arai, really.
No, like Kaz is a keva, so you're second is a keva, no? It's on the same...
I thought Teshu Kentaduru tells you that just like you live...
Teshu Kentaduru, like you sit in the house, you need a sukkah.
Right.
So if you said kva in the house, you need to kva in the sukkah
right.
also.
So what is this possible sukkah here? Why is the sukkah possible?
It's not kva. That's one of the
not kva. Why is it? Explain why it's not kva.
Because it's not chazak.
It moves around.
It moves.
Right. It moves around. Since the bed is not there, you're moving it around. Right. Another one says because it's part of a bed. So a bed is a kli, is makabel tuma. So you're using the boards of the bed, even though the mattress is not there, so therefore it's makabel tuma, and your mamido, it's not, your schach is good schach, but there's a problem of maimid. If you're a real yeshivish person, I'm sure you come across the concept of maimid. Everyone is famous, the Chazon Ish shita that holds that everything in your sukkah there's a problem of maimid. Or maimid the maimid. What is the chumrah, Yehuda? You know this?
Everything.
Everything. That's why people won't even nail in nails of metal to their wooden sukkah.
And in our pargola, they did in metal.
There's no metal.
There's no metal.
There's no metal. Even in our pargola at home, at Price Family, there's no metal. To the mouth where the Chazon Ish shita that everything, even a maimid the maimid, right? It's not because what's holding it, the pargola is holding it up. What's holding up the pargola is even a maimid the Chazon Ish learns from here. And this is really a machlokas amoraim, right? It's not even pasha that it's halachas like this on the Amar. So it's like a sveika. So if you go l'chumra, you can go l'chumra here also. So the Gemara says, "My binai." What's the nafkamina between these two opinions? Instead of the boards, the wooden boards of the bed, you took metal poles and you see it's not attached to the bed over here. Right? It's not really attached to the bed, so it's kva. It's gonna stay in one place. But if it's because of maimid, you're standing the schach on metal poles, so therefore it's a problem. Maimid. Let's say we're only talking about when you actually use the bed to perform and the walls of the bed to rest your schach on. But if you just put schach and you put other walls around the bed, which seems positive, kshera, my time. There's kva. It's not really. It's just the bed's underneath it. It's not part of the sukkah. He's not mamida with the bed. The bed is not part of the sukkah, and the bed is only thing which is makabel tuma. So it's not a problem. Maimid. Yehuda, how was your vacation? You had a good vacation so far?
Yeah,
What was the best part of your
was
vacation?
Gandhi.
What?
This lemon there.
The limud with me, or just the limud in Har Shmuel? It's like a different
All the lemon, this
atmosphere.
lemon, all the lemon together.
What'd you like the best? You like the pool, the jacuzzi, Entrecote, or the Daf Yomi share the best?
Daf Yomi, what's the question?
There you go. There's no more
My
questions.
question,
The
Afilo.
questions are answered. All questions are put to rest now. We all know that the best part of Har Shmuel is Bensie's Daf Yomi shir. If you want to book your next vacation in Har Shmuel and have me come give a shir, you can call me up or send me an email, or actually
I could come also.
send me a message or a like or whatever.
I could
a comment.
come also, don't forget.
I take how much should I take for this? I don't know, $200 a shir. All right, so
Don't take money.
give me some likes, give me some attention, and
don't take money. Don't take. I'm gonna come for you.
You're gonna come also.
Don't take money.
All right, you don't take $50. All right, bye.